What if I told you there's a special energy blocking your life right now, and that you have the power to unlock it today? If you were born between September and October, if you always seek balance and harmony, if you feel like your life is stagnant or stuck in some way, then this video was made especially for you. You know that feeling that something is preventing you from moving forward, as if there were an invisible barrier holding you back? Well, today you'll discover exactly what you need to do to unlock your life once and for all. You who carry this special energy of balance, justice, and beauty possess unique gifts you may not even realize. But you also face specific challenges that may be creating these blocks in your journey. Over the next few minutes, I'll reveal 10 powerful truths that will completely transform your perspective and give you the keys to open the closed doors in your life. If you don't apply this information, you may continue to feel this stagnation for much longer than necessary. But if you stick with me until the end, you'll leave here with a clear roadmap for how to get your life flowing again. Prepare yourself for a journey of self-discovery that will change everything. Tip 1. Stop seeking others' approval to make your decisions. Have you ever noticed how you always feel conflicted when making important choices? This is a very strong characteristic of those who carry this energy. You want everyone to be happy, you want everything to be fair and balanced. But here's the first block that needs to be removed from your life: the constant need for external approval. When you put other people's opinions above your own intuition, you're handing over your personal power to others. It's like a rudderless boat, carried by the currents of other people's expectations. Your life becomes stuck because you can't move in any direction without first consulting half the world. Think about it. How many opportunities have you missed because you waited for someone else's approval? How many dreams have you postponed because you wanted to make sure everyone around you agreed with your choices? This relentless pursuit of external harmony is creating the internal chaos you so desperately try to avoid. The truth is, you were born with a powerful inner compass. Your intuition is sharp, your ability to assess situations exceptional, but you'll only access this wisdom when you stop outsourcing your decisions to others. Start making small choices without consulting anyone today. Choose what to wear, what to eat, which route to take to work, based solely on what feels right for you. As you practice this independence in smaller decisions, your confidence will grow for life's bigger choices. Remember, you don't need anyone's permission to live your own life. When you take control of your decisions, you'll see how doors begin to open naturally. Tip 2. Transform your indecision into your greatest strength. Many people see indecision as a weakness, but for you, it can become your greatest asset. Your natural tendency to analyze all sides of a situation isn't a flaw. It's a rare gift that needs to be honed properly. The problem arises when you get stuck in analysis without ever taking action. It's as if you're a brilliant detective who perfectly collects all the clues but never reaches the conclusion of the case. Your mind can see possibilities that others can't even imagine, can foresee consequences that go unnoticed by most. But here's the secret that will change everything. Transform this deep analysis into quick, accurate decisions. Instead of using your analytical skills to perpetually doubt, use them to make smarter, more thoughtful decisions than others. Set deadlines for your decisions. When faced with a choice, give yourself a set amount of time to analyze all the options. It could be an hour, a day, or a week, depending on the importance of the decision. During this period, use all your analytical skills. But when the deadline arrives, make the decision and move forward without looking back. Remember that there is no perfect decision. There is only the best possible decision with the information you have at the moment. And you, with your natural ability to weigh pros and cons, are better equipped than most to make good decisions. Stop using your gift against yourself and start using it to your advantage. When you do, you will see how your life begins to move with a fluidity you've never experienced before. Tip 3. Set clear boundaries in your relationships. Your gentle nature and desire to maintain harmony may be creating one of the biggest blocks in your life: a lack of healthy boundaries. You're probably known as the person who always helps, who never says no, who goes out of their way to avoid conflict. But this excessive kindness is draining your vital energy. When you don't set boundaries, you're essentially telling the world that your needs aren't important. People start treating you like an emotional doormat, always available to solve their problems but never taking care of your own. Look at your closest relationships. How many of them are balanced? And how many do you give much more than you receive? How many times have you swallowed your opinion to avoid creating conflict? How many times have you said yes when you meant no? Every time you do this, you're betraying your own essence and creating internal resentment. Setting boundaries doesn't mean becoming a bad or selfish person. It means valuing yourself enough to protect your energy and well-being. It means teaching people how you want to be treated. A truly healthy relationship only exists when there is mutual respect, and that's only possible when you respect yourself first. Start by practicing saying no in small situations. When someone asks for a favor you really don't want to do, politely decline. When someone tries to push a responsibility that isn't yours, gently return it. When someone disrespects your values or principles, stand your ground with firmness and love. You'll notice that some people may be uncomfortable at first. That's normal. They were used to the version of you that always gave in. But the people who truly love you will respect your boundaries and even be proud to see you value yourself more. And those who get irritated, well, that will show you who truly cares about you and who was just taking advantage of your kindness. Now I need to make a special request to you who have made it this far. If this content resonates with you, if you feel you truly need this information in your life, help me continue bringing this kind of knowledge to more people. Subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any important tips, and leave a comment telling me where you're watching from. Your participation is essential for me to continue helping people like you unlock their lives. Now let's continue with more powerful truths. Tip 4. Accept that conflict is a part of life. One of the biggest prisons you may be living in is the belief that you need to avoid conflict at all costs. This need to keep everything in harmony at all times is preventing you from living an authentic and fulfilling life. Conflicts aren't necessarily a bad thing. In fact, they're signs that something needs to be resolved, that a situation isn't working and needs to change. When you avoid conflict, you're avoiding growth, you're avoiding solutions, you're avoiding the natural evolution of situations. Think about plants. They need pressure to grow through the earth. Without this resistance, they wouldn't develop the strength needed to sustain themselves. The same goes for you. Conflicts are opportunities to strengthen your personality, to defend your values, to show who you truly are. When you consistently avoid confrontation, you're sending a silent message that your opinions don't matter, that you can be disrespected without consequences. People begin to see you as someone who doesn't have a strong personality, who will always give in the end. But here's an important secret. You can face conflict while maintaining your natural elegance. You don't have to become aggressive or rude. You can defend your views firmly, but always with class and respect. Start practicing in small situations. When someone makes a comment that bothers you, instead of swallowing it, express your disagreement politely but firmly. When someone tries to convince you of something that goes against your values, stand your ground calmly. You'll discover something incredible. When you position yourself authentically, you gain much more respect from people. They begin to see you as someone with integrity, someone with solid principles. And this opens doors that complacency never would. Tip 5. Stop procrastinating important decisions. Your tendency to postpone important decisions is like an invisible anchor that prevents your life from sailing to better waters. You keep analyzing, weighing, considering all the possibilities, but never truly taking the next concrete step. This procrastination doesn't come from laziness or disinterest. It comes from your fear of making the wrong choice, from your need for absolute certainty before acting. But here's a liberating truth. Absolute certainty is an illusion. No one has guarantees about the future. While you wait for the perfect moment, the perfect situation, the perfect certainty, life keeps passing you by. Opportunities appear and disappear. Other people make the decisions you've been putting off. You're left watching your life unfold in slow motion. Procrastination is actually a form of self-sabotage. It's your fear disguised as prudence. It's your insecurity dressed up as wisdom. But you weren't born to live a life of endless unrealized possibilities. Your analytical ability is a gift, but only when used in the service of action, not paralysis. Use your ability to see all sides to make better, faster decisions, not to remain eternally indecisive. Set deadlines for your decisions and stick to them religiously. When the deadline arrives, make the decision with the information you have. Remember, you can always adjust your course later, But you can't make up for lost time and indecision. Start with smaller decisions and gradually build up. Today, choose a decision you've been putting off for weeks or months and take concrete action on it. Feel the energy that is released when you stop carrying the weight of unmade decisions. Tip 6. Build your self-confidence through small victories. Your self-esteem may be more shaken than you realize, and this is creating a vicious cycle in your life. When you don't trust yourself, you postpone decisions, seek external approval, avoid risks, and all of this confirms your belief that you're not capable enough. But here's the secret that few know. Self-confidence isn't something you're born with or without. It's a skill that develops through practice, through small, consistent victories that build a solid foundation of self-esteem. You probably have a habit of minimizing your achievements and maximizing your mistakes. When you achieve something, you think it was luck or that anyone could do it. When you make a mistake, you mentally punish yourself for days or weeks. This is a perfect recipe for perpetually low self-confidence. Start celebrating your small victories today. Finished a project on time? Celebrate. Were you able to express your opinion in a meeting? Acknowledge your progress. Made a decision without consulting 10 people? Congratulate yourself. Create a list of the things you've accomplished in life. Include everything from major accomplishments to small, everyday achievements. Revisit this list regularly, especially when you're feeling insecure or inadequate. Set small, achievable goals for yourself. Instead of creating gigantic goals that scare you, break them down into smaller steps that you can take with confidence. Each goal achieved is concrete proof of your ability. Remember, you've already overcome 100% of your worst days so far. You've faced challenges that seemed impossible at the time. You have more strength and wisdom than you realize. It's time to recognize this and use this strength to propel your life forward. Tip 7. Cultivate active patience, not passivity. There's a big difference between active patience and passivity, and confusing the two can keep you stuck in situations that should have changed long ago. Active patience is when you wait for the right moment while preparing and working toward your goals. Passivity is when you simply wait for things to get better on their own. You may have developed the habit of waiting for others to take the initiative, for circumstances to align perfectly, for someone to come and solve your problems. This isn't patience. It's abdicating responsibility for your own life. True patience involves consistent action toward your goals, even when results take time to appear. It's like planting a tree. You don't just sit there staring at the seed and waiting for it to grow on its own. You water, care for, and protect, even knowing it will take time to see the fruits. Identify the areas of your life where you are being passive instead of patiently active. Are you waiting for the right person to come along without doing anything to meet new people? Are you waiting for a promotion without qualifying or standing out at work? Are you waiting for your health to improve without changing your habits? For each area where you identify passivity, establish at least one concrete action you can start taking today. It doesn't have to be revolutionary, but it does need to be a step toward what you want. Active patience also involves trusting the process as you do your part. You plant, cultivate, and trust that the harvest will come in due time. This frees you from the anxiety of wanting immediate results and gives you peace to work consistently toward your dreams. Tip 8. Embrace your sensitivity as a strength, not a weakness. Your sensitivity is probably one of your most misunderstood traits, even by yourself. In a society that values toughness and insensitivity, you may have learned to view your ability to feel deeply as a liability, as something to be hidden or overcome. But your sensitivity is actually a superpower that allows you to perceive nuances that others completely miss. You can pick up on people's unexpressed emotions, sense when something is out of place in a room, and sense the energy of a situation before it even fully unfolds. The problem arises when you don't know how to manage this sensitivity, when you absorb other people's emotions as if they were your own, when you let yourself be carried away by the intensity of your feelings without creating healthy filters, when you use your empathic capacity to sacrifice yourself for the sake of others. Learning to manage your sensitivity is like learning to play a highly refined musical instrument. In the right hands, it produces beautiful music. Without the proper knowledge, it can produce only noise. Start creating daily moments of silence and introspection to process everything you absorb throughout the day. Your sensitive mind needs time to digest the intense emotional experiences you constantly experience. Practice differentiating between your feelings and the feelings of others. When you feel emotionally overwhelmed, pause and ask yourself, is this really mine? Or am I carrying something that belongs to someone else? Use your sensitivity as a compass to make better decisions. Your body and your emotions give you valuable information about people and situations. Learn to trust these subtle perceptions. They rarely deceive you. Tip 9. Practice the art of healthy detachment. Detachment is perhaps one of the hardest lessons for you to learn, but also one of the most liberating. Your natural tendency is to become deeply involved with people, situations, and outcomes, creating expectations that often lead to frustration and suffering. Detachment doesn't mean not caring or becoming indifferent. It means doing your part with love and dedication, but without being tied to the results. It's like being a gardener who plants with care and waters attentively, but understands that you can't control whether it will rain or shine. You probably have difficulty accepting when people make choices you consider wrong, when projects don't go as planned, when life doesn't follow the script you mentally designed. This resistance to reality is a constant source of unnecessary suffering. Healthy detachment frees you to live in the present instead of getting caught up in expectations about the future or regrets about the past. It allows you to love without possessiveness, to care without controlling, to dream without despair. Start by practicing detachment in small, everyday situations. When someone doesn't respond to a message in the time you expect, take a deep breath and release your anxiety. When a plan doesn't go as planned, see it as an opportunity to be flexible and discover new possibilities. Practice the phrase, I do my part and trust the process of life. Repeat this whenever you catch yourself trying to control something beyond your reach. Remember that you are responsible for your actions, not for the consequences beyond your control. True detachment gives you an inner freedom that no external achievement can provide. It allows you to be happy regardless of external circumstances, because your peace no longer depends on everything going exactly as you want. Tip 10. Build your own definition of success. The final key to unlocking your life is perhaps the most important. Stop living by other people's definitions of success and build your own version of a successful life. You probably grew up hearing that success means having lots of money, a prestigious career, a big house, and social recognition. But what if none of these truly satisfy you? What if your soul yearns for something completely different? Your nature seeks balance, beauty, harmony, justice, and meaningful relationships. Perhaps your success is having time to contemplate a sunset, cultivate deep friendships, create something beautiful, make a difference in people's lives, and live in peace with yourself. There's nothing wrong with wanting material achievements, but when they become the sole measure of your worth as a person, you lose your way. You start living a life that appears successful on the outside, but feels empty on the inside. Sit down and reflect deeply on what truly matters to you. Not what should matter, not what your parents want to matter, not what society tells you should matter. What makes your heart feel full and fulfilled? Maybe it's creating authentic, lasting relationships. Maybe it's contributing to a more just and balanced world. Maybe it's developing your artistic or spiritual talents. Maybe it's simply living with integrity and inner peace. Once you've defined your own metrics of success, organize your life to achieve them. Make decisions based on your values, not on others' expectations. Invest your time and energy in the things that truly nourish you and help you grow as a person. When you stop trying to fit into the molds others have created and start living authentically, something magical happens. You finally feel at home in your own life. And this sense of belonging is what will allow all other areas of your life to flow naturally. If you've made it this far, it means you're truly committed to your personal transformation. These 10 truths I've shared with you are powerful keys that can open all the doors that are locked in your life right now. Remember, you were born with unique gifts that the world needs. Your natural quest for balance and harmony is exactly what our society needs more than ever. But to offer your gifts to the world, you must first free yourself from the limiting beliefs and patterns that keep you small. Real change happens when you move from the reflection zone to the action zone. Choose at least 3 of the tips that resonate most with you and start applying them today. Don't wait for Monday, next month, or the new year. Your life is happening now, in this moment. You have everything within you to create the balanced, beautiful, and meaningful life your heart desires. Stop waiting for permission, stop seeking approval, stop postponing your happiness. The time to unlock your life is now. If this video brought you clarity, if it helped you see paths you couldn't see before, I need your support to continue bringing you this kind of transformative content. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and share this knowledge with someone who also needs to unlock their life. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these 10 truths touched your heart the most? What change will you start making today? Leave your answer in the comments, and let's build a community of people committed to their personal and spiritual growth.